Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Disney Reel to Reel, a deep, deep, deep delve into the Disney animated canon. I'm Wyatt, and today's episode is unofficially, I need you to remember that, unofficially sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon. Kids, do your brothers give you the cold shoulder? Did everyone forget your birthday? Are you prone to being thrown out of moving vehicles? Well, have I got a solution for you. Pabst Blue Ribbon Lager Beer. So good I got drunk talking about it. It will make all that traumatic pain disappear. Our pure, factory-produced beer was recently contaminated by a football jock in his 40s, but even he had no complaints regarding our beer's quality. You may even become the champion Starfire player at your local arcade if you'd only drink Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Who needs a brother when you've got Pabst Blue Ribbon? But joining me in this endorsement is Queen Woman, Frankie Sparks.
I'm here, everyone. Never fear, Queen Woman is here. That's the best title I've ever had. Anywhere. Queen Woman.
Oh my god. Undergrad could never.
Ugh.
But yeah.
So all right. This was a time that you had me experience.
Yeah.
I never heard of this before you told me about it, by the way, which
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Because there are so many 80s people in it. You
Mhm.
could think that I would at least know it exists.
Yeah, you're fine. I didn't know this existed until I heard a podcaster talk about it on their show. And I was like, I need to see this to see how like good it actually is. And I was like, oh my god, Frankie.
I don't know what that means that you immediately thought of me like to do it with you, but I mean, I'm honored as always to be here.
Aw, thank you. So, yeah, we're talking about Midnight Madness from 1980.
Jesus Christ.
I don't. I have a set like pages of notes to go over, but I'm gonna save most of them for the end. And we don't have any memories because we just watched this like yesterday. But I would like to know what were you expecting this movie to be?
Well, okay. So I when I looked at it, I didn't look at the synopsis or anything. Like I literally went in totally blind. The only thing I knew was because of like the poster, I knew MJF was in it and I knew David Naughton was in it from American Werewolf in London. So I'm like, 80s people before they were famous. Cool. And then like the second the movie started and like the song kicked in and like the opening credits, I'm like, what is this, Rock and Roll High School? Like I didn't know. It gives like a very like American Graffiti, but for kids. That's what I thought it was gonna be because of Disney, obviously. Um the one thing I wasn't expecting was the level of crass jokes made,
Mm-hmm.
particularly fat jokes. We'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
we'll talk about it.
But yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And also because, and I mean, I guess it's egg on my face, really. But because Michael J. Fox is literally at the center of the poster and like every thumbnail, like it's MJF, like right in the center. I
Mhm.
assumed he was going to be in more of the movie, but he doesn't show up till like half an hour in. And for the first scene he was in, I thought he was like gonna be mute the whole time because he doesn't say one word. I
No.
was like, is he just not gonna talk the whole movie? So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and
But
he's an 18-year-old playing a 14, 15.
yeah, I looked at because I was looking at the IMDb while watching it because I was actually, despite itself, I was intrigued by what this movie was. So I was looking at IMDb trivia as we were watching it, and I was like, oh, they had an 18-year-old MJF, and you could tell because they like it looked like they just like, you know that scene in Mulan where they are making Mulan up to meet a husband and they just like
Yeah.
huff her in the face with baby powder? It looks like it's not actually baby powder in that movie, but it just looks like MJF got slathered with baby powder and they put a retainer in his mouth. And I was like, oh, well, now he's a little boy.
Yeah. Gosh, Back to the Future was only like 7 years. No, not 7 years. It was 5 years.
Yeah, because that was 85.
That's
and
crazy.
like Family Ties was like a couple years before that, so this was even before Family Ties. It's wild. Yeah, because he does look really young. And yeah, I want to bring up other things, but I want to like savor the flavor.
We'll savor the flavor, yeah, of Pabst
Of
Blue
Pabst
Ribbon.
Blue Ribbon. That was insane. We're gonna okay. Jesus Christ. The movie was sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon and Dr. Pepper.
Oh my god, I just saw the commercial for that this morning.
Jesus. Anyway.
I'm a pepper, you're a pepper, she's a pepper, he's a pepper. Oh my god. That was some joy that I just unwrapped this morning.
So insane. So yeah, I really didn't go in. I went in pretty blind, didn't expect much of anything. And like, I had fun with it. I can't say I didn't like it. It was fun because it was so stupid.
Yeah.
But in a fun way.
Totally.
So I can't complain too much.
Yeah. Well, on my end, I first heard about this movie through another Disney podcast called We Want the D. And they are, to my knowledge, the only Disney podcast that has talked about nearly all 400 feature films in their canon.
Jeez. That's crazy.
And the thing is that it's so funny to me because they're not even Disney fanatics like I am. So it's just like they were just going through, ripping them apart piece by piece. And I'm just like, you guys hate this company with every fiber of your being because of its unethical practices. But I would never do this. But I'm glad they did because they've wrapped up their series, I want to say like a year ago or something. And they put this movie in their top 10 finds while watching movies for the show. And the only animated movie they put on the list was Meet the Robinsons.
Okay. Well, I'm going to reserve judgment for that. But I think that makes sense, the part about Midnight Madness. Because it's like no one knows about... I feel like more people should know this exists.
Yes, but I also feel like more people should know about something like Queen of Katwe before this movie.
That's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair.
God, watching both of these movies during Thanksgiving weekend was just like... it was a mindfuck.
That's an interesting double feature.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about that someday. But anyway.
Oh god.
Thinking about where this is in the company history, like this is the dark age of Disney. We're talking about, like they had just thrown out their only other CEO after Walt. It was a guy named Card Walker. They replaced him with Ron Miller, who was Walt's son-in-law.
Oh dear. We got a Jared Kushner thing going on here.
Yes. But before he became president of the studio first, and then he became the CEO. This was one of his first producer gigs with the intent of making Disney content for an adult audience. And I look at it and I'm like, wow, Little Mermaid really came after this, didn't it?
Yeah. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Ugh. It's an interesting, yeah.
Yeah. They really did have heights to climb. Yeah. But I'm still happy with what we got.
Yeah, I mean...
That's crazy. But, yeah. Let's just do a bit of general context. So, Dark Age, in the animated movie timeline, this is between The Rescuers and The Fox and the Hound.
Oh my god. That's okay.
Yeah. So
I
this
like the
is
Fox and the
yeah.
Hound fine, but neither the Rescuers or Fox and the Hound is particularly like, you know. I mean, the Rescuers is still boring, I feel like. The Fox and the Hound, at least as an adult, can give you some tears.
I
That's
I
nice.
mean it's
If you need it.
I mean it's either between Bob Newhart and Ava Gabor or Mickey Rooney and Kurt Russell.
My God. Oh,
What a
man.
time to be alive.
What a
Um
time.
but yeah, so basically that means like the old guard of Disney animation, you know, the guys that have been there since like Snow White, Pinocchio, all that stuff. They were beginning to retire and some
Yeah.
of them had passed away. And so we got this new team of kids from the California Institute of the Arts, which was Disney's own private art school. They're coming in, people like, you know, Tim Burton and like guys that are trying to find their identity
Make a name
artistically.
for yourself, sweetie.
Yeah, make a name for
Get
yourself.
out there.
Yeah. But Ron Miller, the president of the studio at this time, he was wanting Disney to go in a different direction with its media content. He was wanting to pursue more mature audiences, you know, like other studios had done at the time. He also is responsible for the creation of the Disney Channel and Touchstone Pictures.
Okay.
So,
All right. All right. You're painting a picture here.
yeah, yeah. So we got Splash because of this man.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God. Well, no, that's not
Thank
fair.
God.
That's not fair. I should also say Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We also got that.
Okay.
from him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine. That's fine.
That's good. It's okay. We'll forgive that then.
Yeah.
I actually don't hate Splash. I shouldn't be that mean to Splash. But it's not
What's your
good,
name?
But like
It's hard to say in English. Well, just say it in your language.
oh no.
All right. My name is.
Oh my God, that's where they got the laugh for those the girls on the red team. That's where they got the laugh.
Oh my God. I gotta say before we start, that scene where they were like, cross out the eyes in that sentence, and they were like, oh my God, that was literally like us learning that the 17s and Wish were the dwarfs.
Literally. I was like, wait, I remember that. That was so funny. Go back and listen to the Wish episode. That
Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah, totally.
But like, we were watching that, and I was like, there's no way that they would figure this out. Like, every single team would figure that out. It's so. Anyway.
But yeah, that was all the information I had other than. Oh, actually, no. We have to talk about the producers and the writers of this movie.
Oh, please. Let's.
Yes.
Because I
so-
tried to look them up, and I didn't recognize them from anything. So.
Well, I did the digging, so it's these two young hotshots, straight out of film school, named Michael Nankin and David Wechter. They had just come off this indie musical featurette called Junior High School, which is 30 minutes long, and it's the squarest thing I've ever seen in my life. I will share the link with you after we're done here.
Please.
Yeah, it
In
is.
what way was it square? Just like.
It's like High School Musical, but if it were shot at an actual school and like guerrilla style, you know, like
Oh, okay. Got it. Fun.
yeah. There's literally a song where they do like a 3-part thing between the fitness coaches, the squad who like calls out people for cheating on like reps or whatever. I don't remember what you call this. And then there's the one kid who is like the protagonist, and they all sing different parts all at once. And I'm like,
Okay.
all right, you guys think you're all that. All right. That was around the same time as Grease, actually.
Well, because I recognize the nerdy guy in this movie as the nerdy kid from Greece. And I was
Eugene?
like, wow, he did other things. Look at him go.
Yeah. But let's say Roger Ebert, you know that movie critic that everyone loves to talk
Oh
about?
yeah, who cares about that guy?
Yeah.
Who cares what he thinks?
Well, he clearly was a big cinephile because he actually enjoyed junior high school and felt that these guys had a promising film career.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure that is what inspired Ron Miller to contact them and give them $5 million to just make a movie.
This cost $5 million.
Yes. Yes, it did.
For what? That board? Like all the magnets? The cars?
With the
Oh my
for
God.
the guess your weight machine at the fair.
Why? Okay, listen here. Because especially at this time period, like, you have to expect in a comedy. It's like, in a 2000s comedy where you expect, like, gay jokes or
Yeah.
something like that. It's like you come to expect in certain eras, like certain crass genres of comedy. And you're like, okay, whatever. This was egregious. It was so much. It's like, we get it. Like, because there's one main, I don't want to like ruin you explaining the plot, but there's like one of the main characters, quote unquote, is a fat guy. He's a fat guy. It's okay. He's fat. Okay. But his whole personality is that he's fat and he eats. And then there's two other, like, there's twin females on another, like, they're kind of supporting characters, and they're also overweight, and their entire personality is that they're fat and that they giggle like dolphins. That's it. They don't say things.
No.
They just giggle and are fat.
One of their lines
the
is
whole
literally, "Let's go buy stuff and eat things."
Oh my God. They're at not a fraternity, sorry, a
Sorority.
sorority.
Yeah.
They're at a sorority party, and these girls are holding plates of fudge and just passing around slices of American cheese.
Yep.
That's what they're doing. And I'm like, that's not a thing that you do. It was insane. But I digress.
Yeah,
The fat jokes
I
are
think
a lot.
we've got a lot to unpack here, so let's
So
begin
much.
the plot rundown. So we open on this like non sequitur shot of LA in the daytime and at night. Because then
They thought they were so slick doing that. They had the pretty daytime, and then it immediately flashes to nighttime. Midnight Madness title card, and it's like, I'm like, okay.
And I'm like, yep, that's the
Calm
apocalyptic
down.
wasteland. I recognize LA. Yeah.
Yeah, but when that song kicked in, I was like, ooh, we think we're really doing something. We think we're a real movie. This reminded, I don't know if you know this movie, but it reminded us of Rat Race. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it's like a 2000s movie. It's like a similar premise, like a scavenger hunt basically, except in that scavenger hunt they actually win something.
Yeah.
Like this whole movie, the premise generally, before you get into the nitty gritty, is a scavenger hunt, and the guy running it, like, he explained briefly what you win, but I forgot. And like halfway through the movie, I'm like, they're going through all this shit. I'm like, what do you get? My husband Scott, who was watching with me, he's like, I think they get a trophy and like bragging rights. I'm like, but bragging about what? That they went around LA committing crimes?
Yeah.
So many crimes.
We'll get into it. There's a list, people.
Anyway, it was egregious. And then at the end, the freaking trophy, like, it's not even a trophy. Anyway, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Continue.
All right, so we got these two hot preppy girls named Candy and Sunshine. They're roller skating around.
Not their real names. Let's be real.
Not their real names, but
Not their real names.
But I was gonna be like, I wanted to be like, I'm Wyatt, but for this episode, you can call me Candy.
Ooh. And you can call me Queen Woman.
Candy and Queen Woman, hey. All right. So the real Candy and Sunshine, they're roller skating around this university, which is weird because sometimes it's filmed at a real university, and then on other times, they're literally roller skating around the Disney studio.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell, like, the difference.
Yeah, it's really weird. And they're... who's the blonde one?
Of the Candy and Sunshine?
Yeah.
I would assume the blonde one is Sunshine.
Okay, great. Sunshine, thank you.
Perhaps that's being too derivative. But I would assume that's how she got her name.
Literally, I'm sorry, every female character in this movie is girl.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Everyone's girl.
Mm-hmm. Even the main girl, who is the love interest
Oh
of
my
the main
God,
guy,
she
is
is
like, who is she?
nothing.
I don't remember her name.
She is
Like, who?
nothing.
Who?
She's a broom. Anyway. Uh,
She's a broom.
but anyway, they're roller skating around, and then they're passing out these envelopes to random college people, and they're all requested to meet up at this apartment building to be selected for this game called The Great All Nighter.
Hosted by 70s Jay Baruchel.
Oh my God.
He came out and I was like, whoa, that's Jay Baruchel. Just with like a fro.
Yeah, this guy, this Jay Baruchel Leon, I don't know. Maybe it's just like a 70s thing and I just pick up on it, but like he just didn't seem clean.
No, definitely not. We were trying to discern how this guy put all this together, like, because there are a lot of moving parts in this, as we will find out. There's a lot going on. A lot of people had to be consulted and potentially bribed, or given sexual favors in order to.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out how this happened, that to make all this scavenger hunt things occur and work out perfectly. We came to the conclusion that he must just have a massive ding-a-ling, because otherwise how is this guy getting all this done unless he's got money, which is also a possibility. It might be both, who knows, but I'm just saying something's going on there.
He's got a reason to flex.
Well, he's got Candy and Sunshine hanging all over him.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, actually we find out that at first they don't want any part of it. They think this is stupid, a waste of time, and they're just like, oh, Leon, they didn't want to stay and help with your project after all that work.
It's so gross. You like expect like the sex, like porno music to start.
Well, let us
but
help
then he's
you,
like,
buddy.
no, you don't understand, girls. I've stalked these people endlessly for months. I know them like the back of my hand. They're gonna do this. They're gonna, psychologically, I know that they're gonna fall victim to my trap. And participate in my game like Jigsaw. Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
And then he unzips his pants and he's like, let's play a little game.
Oh my God. So vile.
That's what we're dealing with right now. I don't know what else to tell you.
He's icky.
Yeah.
And everyone knows him. Because also it didn't make any sense. Because one of the participants, right? One of the leaders of this little scavenger hunt cult that they enlist is David Naughton, who's the guy from American Werewolf in London. He's
and
our
that
main
Dr. Pepper
guy.
commercial.
Yeah, of course. Who could forget? And he's like, who, to Candy and Sunshine, who is this from, this invitation or whatever? And the girls are like, oh, he wishes to remain anonymous. And we're like, okay. And then they give the whole presentation and nobody's into it about like what the game is. And then like in the next scene or whatever, multiple people, random ass people, come up to the kids and like, you need to participate in Leon's game. And it's like, how did you know about it? One of the guys' dad, old ass dad, is like, you have to participate in Leon's game. And it's
God.
like, why do you care about this? Why do you know and why do you care? It's weird. I don't know.
Who are you?
Like, who is this weird, dirty man?
Just another SoCal hitchhiker, from my estimation.
He belongs in Friday the 13th, not Midnight Madness.
Oh my God. But anyway, so we're introduced to these selected team members one by one, and David Naughton is a freshman counselor.
You can tell because they zoom in on the building and it's counseling.
Yeah.
Big letters. So like, yeah, okay, we got it. You could have just went in the office and like, you didn't have to. Okay.
Yeah.
Show don't tell.
Yeah, but he's got this little steward. What was his name again?
Fletch? Something like that.
Fletch. And
Something nerdy and weird.
yeah,
Because he's nerdy and he doesn't know how to talk to girls. And David Naughton's like, don't be a pussy, just talk to her. And then the pretty girl, it's like ironic. Ooh, it's so clever because then the sexy girl who's his love interest walks in and he can't talk to her because he's so nervous and Twitter padded. It's so ironic.
yeah. I do think I got a talking to like David Naughton gave that guy by another dude that I knew in high school, and I hate to admit that I was probably a flinch.
Well, Scott, my husband, thought that he was gonna say he was gay. That's what he thought he was gonna say.
But
And
you
I'm
know
like,
they
honey, this is a
wouldn't.
Disney movie. This is a Disney movie. And Scott's like, this is a Disney movie? I'm like, yes, I'm doing it on Wyatt's podcast. He's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, it's a Disney movie. They're certainly not going to do that on a Disney movie.
Well, certainly not. But also, the year after this movie, the AIDS epidemic broke out.
Oh, Christ. Oh, jeez.
So
man, oh,
no,
Yeah, we definitely won't be having that.
no. But
We'd much rather have Flinch or Fletch or whoever go out with like the ugliest poor girl on planet Earth than a man. That would be just egregious.
yeah. But even then, we have to do better than girl with bad acne and braces.
That was so terrible. Because eventually, of course, like everybody's like, yeah, we'll do the game, whatever, yada yada.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But
the exposition
David
is
Naughton,
the least interesting part.
David Naughton, yeah, exactly. But David Naughton is like, I need to get a team together. So he gets the hot girl, his one token black friend with a nice car, who just happens to be yellow because he's on all the cars match the color team they're on,
Yes.
coincidentally. But then he needs one more person. So Fletch comes in. It's probably not his name. Fletch comes in and he's like, I have a date, David Naughton. Can you give me some advice? And he opens the door, and this poor girl just they made this girl up to look like the Wicked Witch of East LA. She looks like she's tiny little like nothing with acne and bad teeth and glasses, and mind you would think that Fletch is like a supermodel. He's also a nerdy dude, but we're just gonna be like, no, you can't go out with her, you'll thank us later. And they just leave and leave the poor girl standing there in the hallway.
Oh my god.
I'm like, wow, that was needlessly cruel, but okay.
Is this like a Southern California thing? That it's like no uggos, no pores?
I guess, yeah. Meanwhile, when we get to like the not the nerd team, the jock team, half of them look like 40-year-old dudes, and half of those 40-year-old dudes look like they've had a beer gut for the last 10 years.
They probably are. And what was the leader's name again? I was really bad with names in this movie.
Oh, I know, because there's so many characters. So there's David Naughton's team. I actually forget his character's name. I know that the brother is Scott. That was easy for me to remember. I couldn't remember the brother's name. Peter? That's not Peter.
Peter?
It's something. Stop! I don't remember.
Peter, go back and get your brother Scott.
No, fuck. I can't remember. It's fine. David Naughton. David Naughton's team. Then we have the sorority girls team, which is made up of stock sorority girl who's the leader.
Actually,
Then
hold up. I don't think they're just the sorority girls. I think they're also supposed to be the feminists. Because they're all got those key necklaces.
Yeah, true. Because then you have the tiny like Peter Pan girl that beats everybody up.
Yeah.
And then you have the twins who I've referenced earlier. And then you have the nerd team, which is led by Eugene, who's the nerdy guy from Greece. And then 3 other nerdy guys who they all ride around on mopeds. And none of the other guys have names because they don't need names. They're just nerds.
Yeah, they're just there.
And then you have the jock team, which is led by, I don't remember the lead jock's name. The only guy I remember from the jock team, I don't even remember his name either, but one of the guys is played by Scott recognized him because he's a big fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's led by Dirk Blocker, who plays Hitchcock on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and he's the guy that fell in the beer and got wasted.
Oh yeah.
So that's him.
But
Yeah,
all I have to say is the
that's
leader
all I
of
recall.
the what were they called? The meat machine?
Oh, the meat machine, which gross. Anyway,
But also, I would smash their leader.
the leader was, yeah, it was clear that because he didn't do anything special to make him the leader, it was clear they made him the leader because he was the most conventionally attractive.
Oh yeah.
Even though he doesn't really do anything.
No.
He's like, the nerds and the jocks have like a subplot where they hate each other and they're all after each other, and then the girls join in that at some point because the violence, the jocks on multiple occasions just push women over like into the pool, into the water, or just on like concrete. They just push them.
Concrete.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's terrible.
Wait a minute. Is this what we're teaching the kids with a Z?
Keep in mind, this studio would go on to make Oliver and Company.
I can't.
Why should I worry?
Oh,
Why should I care? Meanwhile, there's like child kidnapping in that movie. Mob
Sure.
sharks. My God.
oh yeah, there's a whole like that's the leader of that, or the villain I should say, of that movie is a mafia boss.
Yeah. So Disney was going through a weird time.
They were just they were going through it. They're like, let's make LA and New York look like the gritty, they saw like Escape from New York and they're like, we gotta match their energy.
Yeah. 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 I hate that you're right. But all right, what happens next? I'm lost.
So they go, okay, so they all agree to do this game, right?
Yeah.
I forgot to mention the fat team. So the fat team
Oh my God, the big
is
bad.
run by the basic, like the villain of the movie, whose name is Harold. I remember that guy's name.
Great.
Because his annoying girlfriend won't stop saying his name, Harold. Like, oh,
Peter!
the worst. She's the worst. Anyway, but the fat guy. Okay, so the opening credit sequence where they're passing out the invitations or whatever, the guy Harold is at not a drive-in, like
A dine-in.
what was it? Yes, thank you. And he's sitting in the car and he's eating his food or whatever, and he
He has a fist full of French fries.
fistful of French fries, honking his horn because the girl got his burger wrong, so he threw it at her and then dropped all his stuff on the floor and just grabbed a thing like a handful of fries. He's terrible. Like, he's not just a regular like teen movie villain.
He's
Because-
actually terrible.
We established that he comes from money, right? Because his father is the one that's like, you have to be in Leon's game or whatever. It's clear that he has a lot of money, and he has like this rivalry with Adam. That's David Naughton's name. He has a rivalry with David Naughton's character, whose name is Adam. Okay, and
Beautiful.
we got it. We figured it out. But at one point, okay, he is sitting in his mansion or whatever.
Oh
with his
my God.
friends.
He had me
And
for 0.5 seconds, and then what you're about to mention came up, and I was like, fuck
I
you.
was like disgusted. He grabs there's a candy dish, like 5, and he grabs a handful of M&Ms, right? And I think he eats a little bit of it, and then I think his girlfriend like bitches and moans at him that he's
Yeah.
has to go on a diet or whatever. So he throws the M&Ms on the floor,
And that's where he
and
had
then
me.
calls his obviously Latina fucking maid, because of course she had to be Latina, and then she comes in there and he's like, clean this up, and it's like,
Clean up-o, meso. And I'm like,
excuse me.
and that's where he lost me.
Excuse me. I was disgusted. But then his whole arc of the movie is that he feels inferior, he has daddy issues, and he wants to beat Adam because Adam is perfect. For a second I thought that like he was like his stepbrother or something, because the dad is like bragging about Adam, but I think Adam's just like, yeah, so he's terrible. His personality throughout the whole movie is that he is fat, and his arc, I guess, is that well, his main arc, I should say, is that his girlfriend wants him to diet. His other friend clearly wants to fuck his girlfriend, so he's trying to make him look bad by calling him out for eating, and he hides food in his car to try to. It's the
Yeah.
whole movie. He is fat.
Yeah.
He is fat, and that's it. And awful.
Yeah. Can we? Actually, I do have a fun fact to share about the guy who wants to bang his girlfriend. I need to pull up his like real name because, like everything else, I've forgotten.
You don't need to know character names in this. It's fine. Just
Oh! I got it. Andy Tennant.
Okay.
He plays Emilio.
Yes.
This man.
It wasn't even. He kept saying Milio, and I was like,
Emilio, yeah. But
that's-
he went on to direct and write Ever After.
what?
Yes!
Like the Drew Barrymore?
Yes, the Drew Barrymore movie.
Huh. Okay.
And he
don't
was
know
like
what
a
to do with
background
that.
extra in Grease.
I think I saw that he was like a dancer in Greece, and I was like, oh, cool.
He directed The Bounty Hunter. He directed Fool's Gold with Matthew McConaughey.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Well, at least we have yet another person that actually had a career after this movie. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. That's a lot. Okay. That's a strange, fun fact.
He's the one who directed her to punch that blonde bitch in the face for saying that her mother was dead.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, you go.
Good.
You go, Andy Tennant. Anyway, what happens next?
Okay, so they all meet at like the starting point of this. Like, I love how you once again, I feel like every time I come on here, you somehow strong arm me into doing the plot.
I tried.
You asshole. Anyway, no. Okay, so they go to the start point of the scavenger hunt, right? And they get their clue to the start of the scavenger hunt, and the riddle is stupid, but they somehow all figure it out, every team.
Mm-hmm.
And they all end up going to different places, because it says something about stars, but I think some of them, instead of thinking it's stars in the sky, they think, because they're in LA, it's celebrities.
It's
so
Madame
they all go to
Tussauds
different
Wax House Museum.
Yeah, they all go to different places. Oh, and the Harold, I don't want to keep calling him the fat guy. That seems wrong and crass.
So then
But
the
the
fat
movie is
guy
wrong and crass,
goes
so
to...
it's what do I do? Okay, so Harold, he has this, like, Scott called it a rape van. I didn't think it was that. It was
Because it's got all these doodads, and it's the walling, the paneling on the walls.
It was Scott said
Yeah.
it was a creeper van. I didn't think it was a creeper van, but it was just, it was a stoner van, I would say, probably more than it was a creeper van. But he has a computer in there, and he like punches the riddle into the computer, and it magically comes up with the right answer. So right off the bat, he's cheating. I mean, really, everybody cheats in this game.
Yeah.
But
Isn't that what it's all about?
It's fine. That's a great lesson to teach the kids. Anyway.
Also, be confident and steal women's cars from them and take them to places that they didn't request.
Steal women's cars from them. Siphon gas from people's cars.
Contaminate
Push
beer.
women. Yeah, just really.
Go for it.
Yeah. Just go for it, because you're gonna get a trophy.
And encourage your 15-year-old brother to get you a beer.
That was so. Okay, so
We are just getting, like...
This is so ridiculous. So, okay, the first clue, I'm trying to think, the only, like, really crazy thing that happens in the first one the first clue, I should say, is that they go to the planetarium.
Oh
The
my
yellow team.
God.
That's
Yeah.
David Naughton's team. That's like the main team. That's the people we're rooting for, right?
Yes.
They go to the planetarium and they have to look into the telescope at this specific thing or whatever
But
to
then,
find the next clue. But then there's this snot-nosed little kid there who also is fat. Let's just stop this.
but also
Let's just
his
stop
dad.
it. And his dad, who is like 70s dad incarnate. Like if you just closed your eyes right now
was
and
a
thought of
dilf
a
right there.
70s dad, that's who it is.
That was a dilf right there.
Yeah, okay. He smelled of cigarettes, and we were watching a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that guy smells like cigarettes.
I
Pabst
say
Blue Ribbon.
that. I say that, but then I'm thinking about smelling, and it's just like, no thanks.
I don't want to.
No, I don't want nicotine in my life. Thanks.
Anyway, so the snot-nosed kid is looking through the telescope, and he's looking at. What do you think, guys? He's looking at a window across the street at like some apartment building, and a woman is changing. And isn't that wonderful?
And he's
Isn't
like,
that
maybe I'll get to
cliche?
see Venus's 2 moons.
Oh my god.
This movie is full of those kinds of jokes.
It's pretty wild, man. Because also, like, I don't.
Okay.
The implications of that are terrible. But
Yeah,
let's not
they
get
are.
too
No.
bogged down.
No.
Eventually, David Naughton's like, "Hey, isn't that Venus over there?" And the dad's like, "What?" The kid's like, "Oh, come on, Dad, let's go to the magnet exhibit." So they go, and then they look in the telescope and they find the other clue, and they go somewhere else.
Oh, but no. Then he's like, Flinch, let me bring you back here some other time.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! Stop it.
This movie is so creepy, but still funny.
It is. I mean, I can't deny that I laughed. I think I don't know if I laughed at like the absurdity or just genuine laughs, but like it is what it is.
It'd be what it be.
I don't know. Who knows? So I think it's around this point when they're like going to the next clue that they find MJF. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of other stuff going on, but I just, for the life of me, can't remember.
But
It
then
doesn't matter.
we introduce this subplot where he and his brother MJF, their relationship rivals that of Chicken Little and Buck Cluck.
Yes. Oh my god. Because mind you, okay, they hadn't mentioned him at all up
No.
to this point. So they're stopped at like a red light, and MJF is sitting at a bus stop or something.
He's got
And
a
he's
ticket
like,
for San
"Hey,
Francisco.
that's my brother," and it's like, "What?"
Yeah, he's
And
got
then, and then, what is he? Oh yeah. So, and then for like the first, like, we don't really even get to like the meat and potatoes of their arc until like 30 minutes after he's entered the movie. Like he's just silent and in the background for the first 20-30 minutes of his introduction in the movie.
Yeah.
MJF's just chilling, and it's like, what are you guys doing? First of all, you're underusing MJF. Second of all, why do we what?
Also,
this movie is,
I could be wrong, but I think this might have been his first film role.
yes, I think it was too. I read that as well on IMDb for whatever that's worth. But
So yeah,
He-
they didn't know the potential that they had.
yeah, and then they just like when they finally do get him to like talk and have a role in the movie, it is very a la Chicken Little and Buck Cluck, because he's genuinely expressing like, yeah, it's my birthday. My brother didn't even remember. Meanwhile, their parents are on vacation. Your parents left alone on vacation and fucked off while it's your birthday. But yeah, your brother didn't even remember. And
Where are my
then
parents?
Your parents fucked off, and he's trying to get on a bus to San Francisco. He's like, "I'm done with you people. Fuck you guys. I'm going to San Francisco." And yeah, the brother's just like, he just likes to make trouble for me. And then the girl who's like David Naughton's love interest, she kind of connects with MJF and is like, feels bad for him.
Don't
and,
you
like,
guys think you
talks to
should
him.
talk closure?
Yeah. It's so funny. At one point, they're in like a shop or something, and she's talking to David Naughton about like, you need to connect with your brother. He acts out just because he wants you to notice him. Da, da, da. And MJF is standing like 2 feet away. It's like they were wide shot, and it's just like them two talking, and then like take 5 steps, and MJF standing right there, and it's like he can hear you.
Yeah, and he
Just
he
go talk
throws
to him
like
right now.
he throws like a marble statue on the ground or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's like, he needs your attention.
Yeah. Jesus.
I'll clean it
Oh.
up. Oh my god.
Ugh.
No,
Jeez.
Scarlet. I'll clean it up. Oh, Scarlet, now we'll truly be sisters.
Jeez.
Please move on before I lose my mind.
I'm trying to think of what else, what comes after this, if anything. I mean,
do we talk about the piano shop?
oh yeah, okay. So the next clue they get takes them to a piano shop.
They need to find 8,800 keys.
Yeah, and it's funny because they are looking around at all these pianos. All the teams really are looking around at all these pianos, and there's like I don't know if it's a music stand or it's something very obvious and not very small at all, like pretty obvious. Right in the middle of the room, it says Leon's theme on it and has like music notes and da da da. And I'm like, you're all looking around like idiots. Did you not look to your fucking right? Like, what are you doing? It's right there.
Yeah.
But
And
eventually,
but
yeah,
the theme is
get
the
that
Pabst
clue.
Blue Ribbon jingle.
Yes, and the drunk guy on the athletic team figures that out, and they eventually all end up going to the Pabst Blue Ribbon factory. Which the idea of a Disney, this is a TV movie, right?
No, I think it was released theatrically.
What?
Yeah.
I assumed that this was a TV movie.
A lot of
That's
Ron
okay.
Miller's movies are kind of TV movies made for theaters.
I mean, yeah, that's so funny. Okay, I just assumed this was a TV movie, but
No.
in all intents and purposes, it basically is. So
Yeah.
it's just strange to me that like a Disney TV movie would have a major plot point surrounding a beer factory.
I mean, why not?
But hey. And then yeah, the what's his name again? Dirk Blocker, the athletic guy who looks like he's 40 and chugged 50 tons of beer before he got to set. He
He
jumps into a vat of beer like fucking Augustus Gloop in Willy Wonka and seemingly just drowns in beer. Like the way he fades back and like
yes.
dives into the
Oh
beer,
my
it looks
God.
like he's greeting death like an old friend. Like he's ready to go.
It was the most beautiful shot. I have to put that
It
up on
was
Instagram.
really funny. It was genuinely funny. And it's so
and then
it's
he
even
comes out
worse
the other end looking like a baby
Yes.
popping out of the womb.
Yes, and it's even funnier because despite the fact that he is shit-faced throughout most of the movie, he still figures out more clues than anybody else on his team. It's like this guy should be the leader.
Yeah. But he's 40. He's been here for too
He is
long.
40, clearly. I mean, I would say that most of them, if not all of them, are 35 plus.
Yeah.
Not in college anymore. Anyway.
Anyway.
Let's see. Oh, there's one point they go to. Oh gosh, was this? There was one point where they get a clue. I don't remember if it was now or later, but it's all running together at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Everyone,
They're in-
you know what? Everyone, like, you can watch this, but
It's a fever dream.
but you don't have to give it your undivided attention.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can scroll. You can doom scroll on
Yeah.
TikTok while you're
No, don't
watching
do
it.
that.
You won't miss anything.
Do anything
You'll
but
come
that.
back up. You'll come back up, and they'll still be running around LA doing nothing.
It was fun to shoot, but it wasn't.
It
Super
looks like
fun to
they had
watch.
fun, to be fair, but it's all night shoots. Like
Yeah.
it seemed like they were on a budget of $5 million, I guess. Which
Yeah.
okay, what did they spend the money on? It has to be the big board in Leon's apartment, which we'll talk about in a second.
Actually, no, what? No, we can go ahead and talk about that now because
Yeah, because we'll forget, and then it'll be like,
Yeah.
what were they talking about?
So
This
for one
board.
thing, they've got this bitch of a landlord who is like
Oh my
waving
God,
their
yeah.
eviction papers right in front of his face and like yanking his hair and shit. And she
Yeah.
calls him a pervert.
Curlers in, yellow teeth, fuzzy slippers, the whole nine. Oh, and then okay, so yeah, because he has this big board of like where everybody is. There's a police radio clearly in the background playing. Supposedly they're tracking them through police radio. I don't know. And then
It's
there's just a lot of bells and whistles going on to, you know, oversee this game that he's got going. And the first time the landlady comes in, she's like, "Everybody's upset. Da, 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 da. If I get one more complaint about you, you're out." And then,
you pervert.
oh my God! At one point, yes, but she does also, as she's doing that, go like grab his
Yes,
little
that's what I was
fro and
talking
twirl
about.
it. And I'm like, why? If you're annoyed at somebody, why are you twirling their hair? Like,
Because
that's-
I'm upset he's not giving it up for me.
Exactly. You look like the pervert, ma'am. Sit down. But okay, so the bit for this whole like subplot with Leon in his apartment is that like the landlady's annoyed, but the other tenants keep coming in and are like, "What's going on in here?" And then they keep getting sucked into the game.
Let's talk
like,
about.
"Ooh."
I don't. Every other tenant is unimportant, but we have to talk about
Piglet.
this first. Yes.
I recognize his voice immediately. I'm like, "That's Piglet.
Yeah.
That's Piglet."
And his wife. And
I was
mother.
like, "Ooh, I'm so excited." His
That
name
was-
was Wally, and at one point the landlady calls the cops, and the cop is talking to Leon, and Wally's just like hugging Leon to protect him, like, "Don't you take my Leon away." He's so cute.
I love that guy. Bless
It made
his
me so
soul.
happy because I was like, "That's that guy.
Yeah, that's
That's
guy.
Piglet's voice.
That's the guy.
Piglet's voice."
That's the guy who didn't sing in Booty You 2 Winnie the Pooh.
Which why not? Really? Why the fuck not? But anyway.
Oh my god.
So that's all going while all these games are going on. That's Leon's subplot. It's so exciting.
Actually,
I
here's
think-
a good question. Which team do you think should have been cut?
Well, that's the thing. I thought for sure that like there was going to be at least one or two teams cut before we got to the end of the movie.
But no.
I mean, what did the nerds do? They didn't do anything.
They
we could-
formed an alliance with the feminists.
They did, which was smart. I mean,
But then they got booted out of the hotel by that badass police officer.
oh my god, we'll talk about that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because like they all get to the very end of the movie, like to almost the finish line, which is it's at a hotel, which clearly Leon or his family owns because there's so much property damage done to this hotel, and they don't get kicked out. But it's
But
fine.
we forgot, we did skip one important thing. There is actually two important things. First off, MJF gets kidnapped by the blue team.
That was so
Yeah.
creepy. Okay, so at one point,
Guys, this movie is full of so much shit.
Because okay, at one point they go to an arcade, right? And Paul Rubens is the owner
Yes!
of the arcade. That's the least weird thing about this movie because I think it was before Pee Wee, but he is very much
yes.
Pee Wee
Yes.
in this movie, and it's weird. Anyway, so that's the least weird thing. So they're at this arcade, right? And they're like, okay, you got to play this game to figure out the next clue. And the game is clearly Star Wars.
But they
It's
called
Star
it
Wars.
Starfire.
It's called Starfire. It's got the Star Wars font and it's got TIE fighters in it, but it's Starfire. Okay, sweetie. So they spend all the yellow team, our main team, they spend all these coins trying to win the game. And MJF is sitting on the side laughing at their dumbasses because they suck. And
Well, because nobody will fucking shut up.
right. And the girl on the team is like, "What's up, kiddo? What's the tea?" And he's like, "You guys suck. I can win that game in 2 seconds, but I'm invisible over here." So they have MJF play the game. He wins it in one shot. We could have not wasted all our money, but whatever. And everyone congratulates
because
him.
don't forget, Paul Rubens is always there with coins in his gun.
Oh yes, he's ready to go.
He's ready to go.
Give me more money. So
Yeah.
everyone congratulates him except for David Naughton because he's an asshole to his brother for no reason. And even the girl is like, "Your brother just won that for us. Like, he didn't have to do
Yeah.
that." And he's pissed off, MJF. So the second the car stops, he jumps out and runs off.
Yeah.
And David Naughton's like, all right, fuck it. Let's just keep going. Let's leave my 15-year-old kid on the streets of LA alone at night.
Oh my God.
At like 1 a.m. or whatever. And everyone else is like, dude, you're an asshole. Like, we're getting out and we're going to go look for the kid. And David Naughton drives off. And he comes back later and they have a emotional reunion that is completely unearned.
Oh my God.
That,
literally, he gets thrown out of a moving vehicle.
Yes.
And then he looks at David Naughton and he's like, Adam.
Yeah, they have like a swell of music, and I'm like, where did that come from?
Where did that come from?
Completely unearned. But anyway, before that happens, he is sitting at the bus stop, I guess waiting to go to San Francisco again. And he's sitting at the bus stop, and the blue creeper van pulls up with the team, with Harold and the idiot team. And they see MJF, and MJF goes up to them and is like, hey, I know where the finish line is. Because he just wants to fuck with his brother because he's a pissed off teenager.
Yeah.
And the next, like, they cut back to the David Naughton people, and David Naughton comes back and it's like, yeah, let's go find him. And then they cut back to MJF in the van. He's inside the van and they're all like swarming over him. Like, I'm like, whoa.
And then Harold literally pulls his hair to get him to talk.
It's very inappropriate and creepy. So I guess maybe it is a creeper van.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? But it was so... And then they drive away. And as Wyatt just said, they throw him out of a moving car. This 14, 15-year-old kid. And yeah, they have like a swell of music and he makes up with the brother for no reason.
That is wild.
It's really bad. It's... We wasted so much time on like these bullshit little things. We could have given them maybe 10 minutes of a conversation. We could have taken out one stupid little bit with like fucking the athletes or the girls on the feminist team running out into the fair.
I'll tell you what we did not have to deal with. We did not have to deal with the feminist truck being towed.
Oh my God. So let's explain that bit because it's really bad. Okay, so it's really egregious. So it explains a lot about this movie, just as one bit.
Yeah.
So they're driving along, the red girls in the red car, driving along, and the car stops. The two dolphin twins jump out of the car.
Let's buy stuff and eat things.
Go running into the fair that's nearby. And the other two girls are like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, again with these bitches, like, okay, fine, let's pull over. They pull over in a tow-away zone, which they zoom in on the sign really obviously. Yeah. But they go in to look for the dolphin twins.
Which, I'm sorry, this is a minor thing. This movie has to be responsible for what people think of when they say, like, oh, I hate, like, watching Disney movies and, like, the acting is terrible and stuff like that. Because every time anyone speaks in this movie, it doesn't matter if you're male, female, in your early 30s, your 20s, your 40s, it doesn't matter. Everyone says their dialogue like, not again. Yeah. Oh, come on. Absolutely. Can't you talk to your brother? And I'm like, oh my God.
It's a lot.
This makes me want to turn in my fan card.
It's pretty egregious. But
anyway, sorry.
So the girls are no, you're fine. So the girls are running looking for the dolphin twins in the fair, and they have two back-to-back pretty egregious fat jokes.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So they're running through and they see a concession stand, and the guy running the concession stand puts a sold out sign in front of the concession stand. And then the girls go, oh, they must be that way. They must have went that way. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. And then they finally find them and they're sitting on a guess your weight thingy.
Yeah.
And they get up
and the arrows
the needle starts spinning like crazy. And I'm like, okay, we get it. Like, they're fat. Okay, like, stop. Just stop.
Yeah, I'm so glad the gays weren't involved in this movie.
It's like, there was an era of film where, like, fat equals funny. But, like, you have to have the fat people say a joke to have that. You can't just have them be fat and that's funny. Like, you have to have them say a joke. Do something other than giggle.
Tell that to the writers of this movie. Okay.
It's really crazy because it's like, again, you come to expect that kind of humor in certain movies from certain time periods, but like after a while you got to do something else. You can't just keep doing the same. It's enough already.
It's enough.
It starts to get cruel after a while.
So maybe it's like we didn't have to cut a team, but we did need to cut a lot of the jokes.
We could have cut some of the repetitive jokes. Yeah. I mean, I would say the red team, which is the feminist team, did the least narratively.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the nerds and the jocks had their, like, beef, and that was a subplot. The girls didn't really have anything to do narratively until they teamed up with the nerds. And that was, like, in the last maybe 20, 30 minutes of the movie. So it's like, who really cared? They were just there to... The short one was there to beat other people up, which she beat up the tow truck driver, which is how they got their car out of tow.
Yeah.
And then... and then the overweight girls were there to be overweight and giggle obnoxiously. And then the main girl was there to be the main girl.
She was there to yell with her face.
Yeah, sure. Oh, at one point too, because her reason for deciding to join the game, I thought this was weird too. The jocks come in at one point
oh
their
my
sorority
god.
and spray their entire sorority party with, I guess, beer?
Yeah, beer.
I would assume beer.
Yeah,
so
beer.
they just spray it and, like, basically vandalize their house with beer and just spray all of them with beer and treat them. And it's like, don't you want to fuck them? You're jocks. Don't you want to fuck the sorority girls? I mean, I don't know. I've never been in a sorority, but I'm like, that's the cliche
well, neither
thing,
have I,
right?
so...
You certainly... you certainly don't go into a sorority as a jock wanting to... Like, I don't know. It just seemed very random and nonsensical. It's like, why do you want to do that? Why?
And then they're like,
is it because they're feminists? We don't like the feminists. Okay.
They can't all be. All the other
I'm sure there's some.
I'm sure no. You misunderstand me. I mean like the ones in the red shirts, except for maybe the two twins, they probably were, but like there were plenty of other girls there that were just in like plain skirts and shit.
Plain old chauvinists.
No!
I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It was so funny. It was really funny.
I support women. Anyway.
Support women. Oh god.
Fuck.
Jeez.
So
okay, so we eventually
I think that was everything. We make it to the hotel.
Yeah. We get to the end of the movie. The nerds, the feminists, and the jocks basically just cancel each other out. They end up all pushing each other into the hotel pool, and they're out of it basically.
Oh my god.
And it comes down to Harold's team, which is the blue team, and our main hero team, which is the yellow team. By this point, David Naughton has shown the greatest form of brotherhood by taking off his yellow sweatshirt and giving it to MJF. He's like, "You're the part of the team now," and it's like, "Oh yay!" So, they figure out the clue or whatever. They have to get to the top floor, and whoever gets to the top floor or the 27th floor, excuse me.
Yes. They
have to get to the 27th floor to the suite or whatever that Leon and all of his tenants or the other tenants in his building are in, because they're all like betting on who's gonna win.
Yeah.
That's funny. That was very much like Rat Race, if anyone out there has seen Rat Race. It's very similar.
Yeah, but you want to know how this is supposed to be a TV movie? It's because they have that one shot of all the teams going up different ramps and up different stairs.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, this is a sitcom. Why am I paying movie ticket prices to watch this?
I just assumed that it was because, I mean, Disney did that a lot. They did TV movies. So I just assumed that's what it was. But anyway, So while all this is going, because everywhere they go, these teams, they cause property damage everywhere. There's one point where they go in a restaurant, and the clue, by the way, is that they have to read a necklace in the cleavage of one of the waitresses, and they're all ogling this woman's breastises while it's fine. But in order to get the waitress's attention, they keep smashing plates in this restaurant. I'm like, Jesus Christ. How much money does Leon have that he's going to pay for all this property damage?
And she doesn't lose her shit at any point.
No, she just takes it. I'm like, God damn, service workers go through a lot of shit.
They do. I know, I worked in retail.
I know, same. Oh, God. I would never go back. Anyway.
Never.
Never. So, okay, they're at the hotel, right? And they are causing havoc in this hotel, and there's a whole, like, subplot in the hotel with the security guard, who I thought he was, like, a celebrity, because they kept focusing on him so much. I thought it was going to be like, is this a celebrity cameo or something? They really kept focusing on him a lot.
But no, just
and he
because
was like, I'm
going to
get my team together. Get everybody out. It's weird.
And he blew out the sexiest puff of smoke from his cigar.
Oh, yes. That sweet, sweet nicotine.
I hate it.
Well, damn it, it's sexy.
Take what you can get. Anyway.
So the Harold's team, after, kidnapping a teenager and attempting multiple times to cheat at the game and ogling a woman's breasts and causing probably hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of property damage.
Oh, yeah, because we didn't talk about the golf course.
The golf course, too. Oh, that was funny, too. One of the clues was like a huge M.
Yeah.
They're like, what's a big M? And the girl from the yellow team is like, oh, everybody knows that. It's miniature. No, not miniature golf world. Oh, no, miniature golf world. And it's like, yeah, that big landmark in LA.
Yeah.
Mini golf.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. But, so they're at the hotel. They get to the 27th floor, both teams, because, the Harold's team had gone up the stairs, which was like part of the joke, because Harold's fat, he can't go up 27 flights of stairs. But they had stopped the elevator because the yellow team was on the elevator. They stopped the elevator, and it was this whole big thing. But they finally both get to the 27th floor, and Harold breaks the fire, like the fire hose thing, like break if an emergency. He grabs his friend's hand, doesn't even break it himself, grabs his friend's hand and has him break the glass to get the fire hose, and is threatening David Naughton with a fire hose, like, don't come any closer. Which illegal, I think, also illegal.
Also, keep in mind, a bunch of police officers are trapped inside another elevator.
Are trapped in another elevator trying to get in. So David Naughton sees the cops trying to get in, or the security team, and just in the nick of time helps open up the. Oh no, we have to mention the retainer. The retainer is an important plot.
That's so disgusting.
Oh my god, it's so gross. That's how they get out of the elevator. I forgot. Okay, so the yellow team's in the elevator trapped. And Jesus Christ. Of course the black guy was like, I can pick the lock. I was like, no, stop it. Don't do that. No. That's not right. That's so wrong.
Jesus.
So David Naughton's like, I don't know, man. And he's like, I don't have anything to jimmy it with. And MJF, I thought they put the retainer in his mouth because they wanted to make him look young. I'm like, let's slather him with baby powder and put a retainer in his mouth. That'll do it. No, it was for plot. It's really disgusting. He took the retainer out of his mouth, gave it to the guy, to Jimmy the Lock. I forget the character's name, but who cares at this point? Jimmy's Lock with his retainer, and I'm like, that would not work. Stop it. Stop. And then it gets worse. So when they get up to the 27th floor, and David Naughton wants to let the security people out of the elevator, he then grabs his brother's dirty, nasty, gross retainer, sticks it in the keyhole, jimmies it a little bit, and it just magically opens. And then, in true Disney fashion, right at the perfect time, Harold kicks off the fire hose, and it sprays all the security people, and they all get arrested. And then the yellow team wins. Yay! Yay to MJF's poor oral health that had him put in a retainer, and now we won. So, yay.
The only person in that room that I was happy for was Piglet.
I mean, yeah, he probably won some money that night.
Yeah, probably.
Good for him.
He and his wife and mother can rest happily. for the rest of their
God.
days. Aw.
I couldn't believe it when he pulled that retainer out. I was like, there's no way that this is the reason you put. Stop it.
Yeah.
It was really bad. And I've seen some gross things on film because, we're cinephiles over here. We've seen lots of movies. No. No. And then Scott was like, he better not put that back in his mouth. I'm like, I hope not.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the yellow team wins. And when you see the trophy, quote unquote, it's literally a wooden plaque with gold plated something that Candy and or Sunshine just like sticks on there. It's not like it's nothing.
It's nothing. No.
A big pile of shit. And like you went through all of this tonight for nothing.
Yeah. And then
yeah.
Harold's girlfriend gets bitch slapped back into the hotel like fountain.
because we had to have one final fat joke just to end the night. So as they're getting arrested and exiting, there's this big buffet, for everyone to partake and celebrate. This wonderful night of terror, and
and vandalism. Yeah,
they got MJF a birthday cake that I'm guessing David Naughton did not pay for because they're at this hotel that Leon clearly owns. but there's this big buffet out, and as the blue team, who's Harold's team, is getting arrested, Harold like has a big burst of like Hulk fat guy energy and just eats everything in the buffet just in rage. I've never heard of rage eating, but I mean that's whatever. Do you, boo boo? And the girlfriend's trying to get him to stop. Your diet, and he pies her in the face so hard that she falls backwards into a fountain. And that's supposed to be funny. It's like, what? Excuse me? And that's how we end the movie.
That's probably how all the male chauvinist writers, producers of this film felt about feminists.
Oh, for sure.
They're like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Because you're right. The main girl in the red shirt was just yelling the whole time.
Yeah.
That was her character.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm a woman, rah, rah, rah. And it's like, oh, cool. Cool.
Oh, you're funny. But
Jesus Christ.
But I think that's a good moral for us to leave on this movie. That we support women.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We support women, and we also support all body types.
That's correct. Oh, is there anything else?
I know we've talked a lot of shit, but like, I actually had a fun time.
Yeah.
With it, like,
I think it's as fun to talk about as it is to watch.
Yeah, it was really fun to like yell at the screen while watching it.
Yeah.
And like, for a 1980 Disney film that clearly should have been a TV movie, but apparently was in theaters. That's all you can ask for, really. And it's kind of funny to see a bunch of 80 stars before they're 80 stars. That's fun. That's cute.
I knew that would do it for you.
Yeah, that was fun for me. And also just, like, you can't take the movie's sense of humor too seriously.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, Scott, my husband, who's like, he's a big guy. He was talking in regards to Harold. He's like, you're giving fat guys a bad name. Because he was just so horrible. But like, it's all in good fun. I think you have to just be easy breezy about it and remember what the time period is.
Yeah.
Not take it too seriously, but it is fun.
Yeah.
I would say if you're listening to this and then go watch it, you're not exactly going in blind, but I would say it was fun not knowing what the hell was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then seeing it.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I was hoping for. I fulfilled my mini Leon mission. I
wanted to know more about him. I feel like they should do a remake of this, and Jay Baruchel can be Leon.
That is never going to happen.
No, there's no way, but it would be really funny. And then we get everybody coming back. Like, how this is what, 80? So, yeah, quite a few years later.
Yeah.
A Midnight Madness reunion.
Well, I'm thinking, like, we had that 80s craze in the 2010s,
True.
Hell, we had Tron Legacy in 2010.
Oh my God, there's gonna be another Tron movie. So yeah. I mean, there's.
And I hear that that's going to be Sean Bailey's last project.
Oh.
Do you remember who that was?
I think so.
He was the head of Disney's live action division. He's responsible for
okay.
all the remakes. So
yes, okay. I was like, wait a minute. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah.
And weird, but funny.
Yeah.
And it also taught you don't put marshmallows in your high-powered car computer because then it implodes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's definitely like sitcom-y elements of it.
Did they mention whether his dad had a warranty on that car?
Yeah, I don't know when car phones became a thing, but I feel like they were a thing in the 80s. And they didn't look like that. It looked like he had a big console in the middle of. I'm like that. It gave very Uncanny Valley like TARDIS energy. Like the car looked bigger on the inside than it did on the outside.
Well, because it also had the
bubble up top,
the
observation window. I'm like, it's a sunroof. Why are you calling it that? Sunroofs were a thing. Stop trying to make this car sound futuristic. It was weird.
I mean, only in SoCal.
Oh man. But, and that poor girl that Fletch rejected is still sitting in the hallway waiting for him after the whole night.
And then those other girls that he stole their car, they're like, "Oh man, he was really cute. Why hasn't he called us back?"
Funny. Oh my God. He's like, you gotta have confidence, and he just stood in the middle of the road like that guy from fucking Austin Powers. No, stop. Oh man, yeah. There's a lot of like funny, almost sitcom-y elements to the movie that are just like logically don't make any sense. Yeah. But it's a movie, so it's like,
sure
just let it go.
It sure is. But I guess that means we get to our final question now.
Oh no, I don't know how to answer. Okay, go ahead. Ask the question.
How do you think Midnight Madness influenced how the Walt Disney Studios produces films to this day?
Huh. Well, I think in terms of like, at the time they wanted to appeal to more older audiences. I can't imagine this did well because nobody knows what the hell it is now. So it really
I think it had that budget of $5 million, but it made like 2-point-something million.
Yeah, I can't imagine it did well. Yeah, so maybe it just, in a weird way, maybe, and this isn't the best lesson probably, but it probably taught Disney to like stay in your lane. It was like, whoa, we're doing too much. A Pabst Blue Ribbon fucking sponsorship? Whoa.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. Who needs a brother when you've got Pabst Blue Ribbon?
Oh, jeez. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe it just taught Disney, like, stay in your... Because, I mean, they were in a period where they were trying to, like, find themselves, I think.
Yeah. Because Walt was gone.
Yeah, exactly, after Walt and everything. So, I mean, it's... I can't knock someone, even the Disney Corporation, for trying something new. And all these years later, it is entertaining, so I can't totally knock it. But this was probably... We reached a little too far into the sun. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, we should have taken it easy.
Yeah. Keep in mind they were working on the Black Cauldron, too.
Oh, jeez.
And they had that scene where he brought back his, like, undead army. But they had a scene where they were gonna, like, make a guy disintegrate to bone. And, like, hundreds of kids and their parents just had a mass exodus out of the screening room.
Like, how did you think that was gonna go?
So yeah.
Because like if you're I mean, Black Cauldron is another can of worms, but like if you're gonna go out of the box, and you got to go all the way. You can't be like half-ass about it. So it just ended up being a big fart, that movie.
Yeah.
And I guess kind of this was too at the time, I would assume.
Yeah.
Although I'd rather watch this than Black Cauldron.
Oh, girl, same. This was a really fun fart we just watched.
Yeah. It really was. I can't be mad. Can't be mad.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun to watch, and as we're watching it, like literally in the first 10 minutes, I was gonna text you, and then I'm like, let me just wait. Let me just wait. Because in the first 10 minutes, I was like, what the fuck? This is gonna be great. And I was like, let me just let it cook. Let the movie cook for a second. Let me cook, and then by the end of it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
Yeah. I knew it. Well, this is actually where I bring in my little history lesson about Ron Miller. So, all you need to know is that as a high school senior in the early 1950s, his football team won the LA State Championship, which got him a scholarship to USC, where he played on the Trojans, and he joined the Sigma Chi fraternity.
Oh my god, it all makes sense.
And it was at this university, at age 21, that he met 20-year-old Diane Disney, Walt's biological daughter. And they met on a blind date, actually. They got married on the 9th of May, 1954. They raised 7 children, and later established Silverado Vineyards in 1981. But before all that, Miller's first job was as an intermediary for WED Enterprises, later known as Walt Disney Imagineering, and Disneyland. He then got drafted into the Army, and he served for a short period. But when he came back, he got back into professional football. But then something happened. Quote, "My father-in-law saw me play in 2 football games when I was with the Los Angeles Rams. In one of them, I caught a pass and Dick Night Train Lane let me have it from the rear. His forearm came across my nose and knocked me unconscious. I woke up in about the 3rd quarter. At the end of the season, Walt came up to me and said, 'You know, I don't want to be the father to your children. You're going to die out there. How about coming to work for me?' I did, and it was a wise decision on my part." Unquote. Soon after, Walt enrolled him into the Screen Directors Guild, where his first assignment was as second AD on Old Yeller. Keep in mind, this man had a football career, and now he's immediately...
Now he's Megan Old Yeller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. But we're not done yet. So for the next 20-some-odd years, because keep in mind, Old Yeller came out in 1957. He rose up the ranks, co-producing such classics as Son of Flubber, Summer Magic, The Misadventures of Merlin Jones, and That Darn Cat, which is a fucking great movie. I will not hear anyone say shit about it.
I like That Darn Cat.
It is so fucking good. I wish more people talked about that. But anyway, so by the time we get to Midnight Madness, he has been sole producer on several live-action films for a good 12 years. And then, yeah, the same year this came out, he got promoted to the role of company president and then CEO in 1983, until the next year when he got ousted by Roy Edward Disney. Because they were dealing with, like, corporate takeovers and stuff.
That's gonna make, like, an awkward Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Table.
Totally. I don't think they vibed with each other very well.
I was gonna say, they probably did not get along at all.
Yeah. Well, because Roy E. sounds like he's very much like he gets the Disney brand, and Braun was trying to do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But
he was trying to, like, branch out and get that Pabst fucking sponsorship, and
yeah.
Roy's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's not what we're about here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what?
That makes sense.
That I'm sure that didn't actually happen, but yes, you are
totally
correct.
Yeah. Like, very
enough,
vaguely.
Enough
it's like I'm a fly on the wall.
Give them tickets to Disneyland, please.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I'm like you. I can't fault them for trying something different. And this was a hell of a ride, but yeah, the Disney Renaissance didn't come out of nowhere. So
We had to get in the bottom of the barrel before we could. You gotta hit rock bottom before you go up.
yeah. And I like that sometimes. I like seeing Disney suffer sometimes.
Yeah. But I feel like we're just gonna kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel eventually and then come back up.
Yeah. I wonder who the next Howard Ashman will be.
Oh, it's a thought.
That's something. I
It's
need
a
to end on
thought.
some kind of high note.
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess that concludes this chapter on Disney Reel to Reel. Where do people find you and your wonderful show?
Well, if you're interested in hearing more from Hair Flip Queen Woman and her husband, Scott, you can feel free to check out our podcast, Shoot the Flick. Wherever pods are casted, we come out with an episode every Wednesday, mostly every Wednesday. We show each other different movies. We're finishing up our 5th season this December,
Oh,
this
shit.
month, But next season we'll be starting anew, and we'll be having Wyatt on probably if he wishes in February, because I have a movie that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I promised Wyatt that he would be on it with us.
I'm so
So-
excited!
I'm excited too.
It's
So
possible.
yes, that'll be fun. It is. It's possible. Things are happening every day. Okay. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it was a pleasure being on once again. I love coming on here
Oh my
because
god.
it's just so fun. We can just nerd out together on Disney shit. It's really fun.
And I'm sorry that I had to make you go through the plot once again.
Oh my god.
But
And I
was
knew you were gonna do it too.
But
I was like, should I take notes?
But this
Should I
time
take notes? But I was like, no, he's not gonna do this to me again.
But this time I was like, the plot to this movie doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. It's fine. But
So-
if you dare to go back to our review of the 2017 Beauty and the Beast remake,
Oh my
he
god.
literally just starts the episode and he's like, "Now, Frankie, take it away." And I'm like,
Well,
"What do
that
you
was
mean?
different. That was
What do you
different.
mean, take it away?"
That was different because I knew that was your favorite.
I mean, to be fair, I just had to recite the plot of Beauty and the Beast, so
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad. But still, it's a lot of pressure.
And you excel every time.
Oh, stop. But it was very fun. I love coming on here. I hope to be on again soon.
Of course. Well, you can find our show at Diz Reel to Reel Podcast on Instagram. Any emails can be sent to disneyreeltoreel@gmail.com. Yeah. Do we have any parting thoughts before we close out?
If you want to eat marshmallows and cookies or M&Ms, you can do whatever you want. Just don't throw them at your maid. And don't hide them in your car. Be proud. I like marshmallows and cookies. It's okay.
All right. And you can find me as Candy on your local hotlines at 900-237-6975.
Love that for you. Make that OnlyFans money.
No. Well, have a magical day, everybody.
Magical day. Magical midnight.
Ooh, magical midnight madness.
Yeah. Jesus.